Hey guys, I'm recording this after I recorded the actual me talking about the top 5 games for this year for me, but I just wanted to let you know, the gameplay you're seeing in the background is me playing on a keyboard on Overwatch, which I am not used to. Please don't judge me by my skill on this game from my keyboard play. If I had a controller hooked up, I'd be doing a lot better, but I just wanted to try out the keyboard. I want to get used to it, so on with the video. Ah yes, the top 5, top 10 lists. The scourge of YouTube. Let's make one, shall we? Welcome to my top 5 games of 2016. Hello everyone. Hello. It's Hacksaw here, and I wanted to throw my hat into the ring with a little bit of my top 5 list for 2016 for video games. So, I wanted to actually go through a few games that were a bit disappointing this year. This is my second time recording this, because the first time I did not like any of the takes that I did, and the recording that you're seeing behind you is new, because the other recording didn't record the sound, because apparently I record Pokemon, the Nuzlocke series, differently than I would do a normal video, so nothing was set up properly. But in any case, let me go into I guess it would be 3 disappointing games of this year for me. First up, I want to talk about a game that I actually have not played yet. It is sitting on my desk, and I just have not put it in because of all the things that I've been hearing about it and things that I've been watching. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. So I played Call of Duty. Something that you might not know about me is I played Call of Duty for 6 to 7 years straight. It was my main game. I played other games, but hardly. I was mostly a Call of Duty player, and I was proud of it. I didn't see anything wrong with it. I know people hated Call of Duty, but I was having fun with it. I was playing with my friends. Whatever, I was in high school. You know, Call of Duty is absolutely fine. With the newest additions of Call of Duty, Advanced Warfare and Black Ops 3, I did not really see myself playing those for that long. I wanted more boots on the ground instead of running on the walls for Call of Duty. For any other game, if they do it correctly, I'm fine with it. But for Call of Duty, I wanted boots on the ground, I wanted new guns, I wanted new maps, and I wanted new graphics. That's the only thing I wanted from my next Call of Duty games. And I know that's bad to say because then there's no innovation, but I mean, you can't say innovation when you're talking about Call of Duty, really. So, even though I have not really played the game, I'm kind of not looking forward to it. The single player, I am looking forward to, just to see how it is. Multiplayer, I know I'm going to get on, I'm going to get trashed, and I'm not going to enjoy my time with it. So, even though I haven't played it yet, I know it's going to be disappointing. I know it's unfair for me to say, but hey, whatever, it's my list, right? Another disappointing game for me this year is the Tom Clancy's The Division. So, I played this for a while. I put a lot of hours into this game. But overall, I wouldn't say I really enjoyed my time with it. I was really only playing it to collect things, just seeing the glowing stuff on the ground and picking it up and going, oh, what's this? And then realizing, oh, alright, I'm just trashing it for parts. It wasn't something that I wanted to do. Now, reverse effect, Destiny. Destiny was, for me, it was fucking amazing. I love Destiny, and this game I thought was going to be a more gritty, a little bit more realistic. I know it's a video game, it can't be too realistic, but a little bit more realistic Destiny, and it turned out not to be that at all. And it was very disappointing. I don't ever want to hop back on it. I hate the way they did the PvP in it, and I just want to distance myself from that game as much as possible. Alright, my last disappointing game for this year is going to be No Man's Sky, and that is not a surprise at all. Because No Man's Sky, I put between 10 and 15 hours into it. I was collecting things over and over again. I wanted to buy a better ship. I wanted to improve my ship. That's pretty much the whole game, unfortunately. But as soon as I realized that I got my better ship, and then I went to go to whatever the next objective was, and I saw that the next ship that I wanted to get was about 5 times as much, and I spent 5 to 6 hours grinding for the ship I have, I said, fuck it. I'm not doing this. No Man's Sky, I know it has some cool designs on it, but everyone would agree that I know that I've seen on the internet, everyone agrees that this game is super disappointing. They made tons of lies that they said that were going to be in the game and were not. If you watch Angry Joe's video about it, where he shows all the things that they said they were going to put in the game, and they even showed video of some things that were going to be in the game, and nothing that was there was, it's just, you get so... I understand why people were hyped about this game. I really do. Because even though I wasn't, and I just picked it up on a whim just because I was like, oh yeah, No Man's Sky looks cool. You know, I heard some cool things about it. I picked it up the first day it came out, and I was sorely disappointed. It was just... I can't name more of a disappointing game for this year for pretty much everyone that has gotten it, besides No Man's Sky. Alright, so since I'm doing a top 5 list, I did have a lot of games that I couldn't put in there. I have 3 games that I wanted to give kind of, I don't want to say runner-up, because that means they're kind of second place, but just like huge shout-outs to. And then I have other games that I just haven't played yet, or I haven't played enough of, and they might have been on the list, but they weren't, unfortunately, just because I haven't got enough experience with them. So, before I go into my huge shoutouts, I want to go over the list that I haven't played, and maybe if I did, then they'd be getting a little bit more respect. Now, this is a little bit long, but I'll get through it pretty quickly here. The first game I wanted to go over is Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, and I know that was the first game I said was disappointing. This is a tie-in game with it, but, I mean, it's Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. It's Call of Duty 4. I have played Call of Duty since Call of Duty 2. Not Modern Warfare 2, not Black Ops 2, Call of Duty 2. And I love Call of Duty 2. Multiplayer was eh. Call of Duty 3, multiplayer was kind of good. Call of Duty 4, everyone knows, revolutionized the industry, and that's the game that they remade, they remastered. So I can't wait to pop that in. Unfortunately, I haven't yet because of a game on my top 5 list, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, this might have been on my list if I actually put it in my system this year. So another thing people might know about me is I love Nintendo. Everything about Nintendo, besides some of their business practices that they've been doing lately. Actually, they've been doing them for years. How can I lie about this here? So, it's kind of disappointing that I didn't get to play this game more, but Pokken Tournament. Pokken Tournament seems like a really cool game. It seems like it has some really cool mechanics. Unfortunately, I played a little bit of it, and I couldn't get into it immediately, so I haven't been playing it too much. I wish I got into it like I got into the original, I don't want to say remake of it, but Mortal Kombat for the 360 and PS3. That game I played for 3 to 4 months straight. That was my game, which is surprising for a fighting game. But I really wish I got into Pokken Tournament like I did that game, but unfortunately I couldn't. It wasn't there for me, and I don't know why, but if I played more of it, it might have made it at least to a shout-out on this. Star Fox Zero. I want to officially say on here, Star Fox Zero is a good game. I played the first 3 missions of it. I didn't play anymore because I didn't have a draw to go to it, but when I was playing it, it was a fantastic game. I don't know why I haven't gone back to it. It's just I wanted to play other games more, but the controls are fine. I don't know why people are having such an issue with the controls. I know motion controls isn't everyone's favorite, but it's also not bad. If you guys watch Gerard the Completionist, he has done a review on Star Fox Zero, and he says, and I agree with this, if you keep playing the game, you will start loving it. And I really need to play it myself more, but as of right now, I'm a little bit busy with this channel, with work, and just with general gaming and friends and stuff, so I can't really go into it right now, but I do want to go back to it at some point, because it really was an exciting game to play. Alright, let me start racking through these faster here. Ratchet & Clank, the remake for the PS4. I played the first level on my other channel that I was on before, and I realized that the cutscenes were not actually loaded, were not recording, because they didn't want you to spoil it, and it was a self-built-in recording thing on the PS4, so I kind of stopped playing that because of that reason, but there was no reason that it wasn't fun. I was actually really excited to play through it, and maybe when I get a capture card I might play through it on here anyway. But it seemed like a really fun game, and if I played more of it, maybe it would have been on the list. Alright, next on the list is Doom. Doom feels fucking amazing. It feels like it just... I don't want to... Not trying to be any classification of person here, but it feels like a manly-ass game. You rip people's heads off, you shove chainsaws into them, it's just... The amount of adrenaline that you get from playing that game and listening to the music while you're playing that game is crazy. And I do want to play more of it. I've only played the first couple levels, but I can't wait to play more. A game that I have not played that I've heard so many people talk about is Inside. I wanted to complete Limbo. I know it has nothing to do with the game Limbo, but I know it's by the same developer, and it's kind of in the same realm of Limbo, so... not realm as in world, but realm as in game mechanics. So I want to complete Limbo first, and then I'll play through Inside, but I've heard so many good things about it. Another game, The Witness. The Witness I have not played whatsoever. I hardly even know what it is, but it seems like a really cool game just because of all the things I've heard about it from everyone that I've watched on YouTube. So just a shout out to that one a little bit. Firewatch, I watched through it, I think it with Markiplier, but it seems like a really cool game. It has a kind of cool story. It's kind of just a walking through story video game, but it could be on a top 5, top 10 list, but I wouldn't put it on there just because I didn't play it. Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse 2. I have sitting on my desk, just like other games on here, but I did not play it yet because I got it, someone got it for me for Christmas, and I just haven't put it in yet, but I love Dragon Ball Z. Haven't played the first one, the Xenoverse 1, but Xenoverse 2 I'm really looking forward to. I just couldn't put it on the list because I didn't play it yet. Last Guardian, I've heard a lot of, and I know I'm mentioning so many YouTubers here, but Easy Allies, the people that used to run game trailers, Easy Allies loves Last Guardian, and they're not the only ones. I see a lot of people love Last Guardian, so I wanted to try it out myself. Maybe when it goes on sale I'll buy it, but I just couldn't put it on this list because I didn't play it yet. Now, I've never played a Final Fantasy game, but Final Fantasy 15 is getting a lot of praise this year. Huge amount of attention, so I wanted to put it on here just to recognize I know it's a good game, but I'm not going to play it. But I just wanted to recognize that I know what's going on in the world, and I know Final Fantasy 15 deserves respect. Uncharted 4. I played through Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. I believe I played through 3. I'm actually not completely sure myself, but I wanted to play through them again. I have the Nathan Drake collection. I never got through all of them, and it's just something I want to do before I get into the 4th one. I have it sitting on my desk, and it's not even opened yet. And I do want to play it. It's just I really want to refresh my mind with the stories of the other ones, because I know right in the beginning you talk to your brother and you can have a choice of telling him about any of the 3 games, and I know that's not really important to the story, but I really wanted to, I just wanted to refresh my memory on what was going on, and I wanted to put myself in that world so I can experience the 4th installment, and probably the final one, as it should be, you know, fresh in my mind. Finally, last to shout out on this list, Dark Souls 3. I've never played any Dark Souls game. Again, with the same thing with Final Fantasy, I know it's a good game. I just want to respect it and put it on here just to say that I know it should be on a list like this, but I just can't put it on. I've never played a Dark Souls game. Alright, now we're getting up to the huge shout-outs that I have for games. First shout-out I want to make is Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. So I got this game in the beginning of the year on the recommendation of Boogie2988, and he adores this game. He's put hundreds of hours into it, he said. With his wife as well, and I played it, and I enjoyed it a lot. I didn't even really play online. I played a few matches online, but I did mostly single player stuff. It was just roaming around the hub world and just doing different things, and it's a different experience that I've never gone through before, and I was very lucky that I heard him talk about it, because otherwise I wouldn't have to get that experience. I told one of my friends about it. They got the game. We haven't played too much on it, but I don't know if I'm going to go back to it, but it was definitely a good experience while it lasted, just not good enough to put on my top 5. Next big shout out I want to make is to Kirby Planet Robot for the 3DS. Apparently no one really respects this game that much. I really like it. I've only played through half of it, so that's part of the reason why I didn't want to put it on my complete top 5. But Kirby Planet Robot is a very fun game. It's a Kirby game, so it's a little bit easy, but I've been playing Kirby games since I was 7. And I adore Kirby. I adore all of his games, and it's a really good game. It's a good addition to his series, and it's better than the Triple Star Deluxe that was on 3DS beforehand. So good improvement. Keep going in this direction, and Kirby games will get even better, maybe get more popularity. Final shout out I wanted to make is Battlefield 1. Now, this should have probably been on my top 5 list, but things on there just sort of put it down to number 6. And Battlefield 1, I would probably put it up there if I played it more. Because of a game on my top 5 list, I haven't been playing Battlefield 1 that much. But if I did play it more, I'm sure it would be on the top 5 list. It is an amazing game. I played through half the stories for the single player so far, and I have played a decent amount of multiplayer, not as much as many other people have, but I played a good amount for it, and it's definitely something I want to go back to. I don't know when, but it is a fantastic game and really deserves more respect than I'm giving it. But it's a return to form for Battlefield, and I can't think of a better way for them to go back in time and do this properly than this game. It has a lot of solid mechanics, a lot of cool guns, and a lot of good maps. Alright guys, finally, my fucking top 5 list. I'm sorry it took so long to get to this, but I wanted to give all the attention that the other games that I just said needed. So, my top 5 games of this year. Number 5, Gears of War 4. Gears of War 4 is kind of just a better version of Gears of War 3. I think Gears of War 3 was one of the best console games of last generation. I played it with my cousin a bunch, I played it with a lot of my friends a bunch, and it was just the blood, the gore. I'm just talking about Gears of War 3, but it's a better version of Gears of War 3. That's the best thing I could say for Gears of War 4, because Gears 3 was just such a good game. I mean, the nostalgia for just ripping people in half with chainsaws and curb stomping and taking people hostage and having their enemies shoot them. The cover system, it's so intuitive, it always has been. And Gears of War 1 came out with that, and they've just improved it over on during these years. It's definitely a huge improvement over the last one, which was Gears of War Judgment. I hate Gears of War Judgment. They did something to the movement system and the map system where it's not Gears of War. It's like they put a tactical shooter or the speed of Call of Duty. It doesn't feel right. Gears of War 4 returns to the best parts of Gears of War from 3 and 1. 2 was okay, but it returned to what people liked about the nostalgia of 1, which is just pure gore gameplay, shotguns, lancers. Just get in there, have fun, get your hands bloody. And I definitely recommend Gears of War 4. Buy it if you have a Xbox One. Now, just like another game on this list that's going to be up further, this game was introduced to me by a good friend. I'm really glad he did. It didn't click with me at first because I was very nervous about it, but Overcooked is a fantastic multiplayer game that it might take a little bit for you to get used to, just maybe a few minutes, but if you're playing with friends, you will be on the edge of your seat the whole time, and you will love it. At least for a decent amount of time. I can't really go more than 45 minutes playing this game because my heart will probably explode. Just the amount of comedy that can come out of it if you're playing with friends in the same room, yelling at each other, and then finally when you finish, you all sit back and laugh about it. It's a new indie game with new mechanics that I've never seen before. I don't know if they've ever been out before, but I've never seen a game like this. And it's very, I don't know how to say it, it's very an exciting game. It's a crazy, stress-inducing game that is just now on another level from any other game that I've played this year, indie-wise and mechanic-wise. That's why I had to go in the top 5 this year, and it deserves it. It deserves you to take a look at it. It deserves your money. If you haven't seen it yet, search it up online. Every video of it is probably hysterical, and it's definitely worth more praise than it's getting right now. Number 3 on my list is Titanfall 2. Now, I want to say that this is the best shooting game this year. The best pure, army shooting game, shooting actual guns. Mechanically amazing. It's astounding how they did the wall running so good. And it's just like Titanfall 1. Titanfall 1 was amazing as well. But they made it more solid this year. They made it less like you're slipping on things. And it feels like even when you're on the wall, your boots are on the ground. It's hard to say. Because I said that with Call of Duty earlier, where I didn't like the way they did wall running. In this game, they do it absolutely perfectly. The sound of it, the level design, the story mode is extremely interesting. There's a part in the story where you're on a platform that's being built a house on, and they're turning it over and over again, and you have to try to find your balance on it and try to shoot people while you're doing that. There's a part in the game where you're time traveling whenever you want between the future when a lab was working and it's the past when a lab was working and the future when everything is taken over by the wildlife and dinosaurs on that planet, and you have to switch between tactically to see which one is a better option, or which one is on fire and which one's not. It's a really cool story mode. The running feels absolutely perfect. I can't recommend a shooter, a kind of army shooter, more this year than Titanfall 2. Battlefield 1 is an amazing game, but Titanfall 2 beats it in spades, in my opinion. And I don't understand why people are hating on it so much. There's a lot of attention going to it from people that actually played it, but not enough coming from the actual shooter community. I'm not talking just about Call of Duty, but anyone that loves shooter games should be playing Titanfall 2. You know that feeling in games when you lean in and you get so much more intense and you're just in the game? That's what happens in Titanfall 2 when you bring your Titan down. And the same thing happened to Titanfall 1. This game, just like other games that I've said in this list, this game does it better. This game does a great job of making you feel like you're a giant, that you can destroy anything, but yet still you feel like it's balanced. You still feel like if you're a soldier, you can take out a Titan. But if you're a Titan, you can have an easy time taking out a soldier as long as you can get a pin on him. So definitely worth checking out if you're a shooter fan. All right, number 2 on this list is no surprise, goes to Pokemon Sun and Moon. So it's difficult for me to put this at number 2 on the list, and that's because Pokemon for me is like, it's kind of like breathing now. It's just, is a new Pokemon game's coming out? Obviously, yes, I'm getting it. It's kind of like, I don't know exactly what I'd do without Pokemon at this point. It's so vital to what I do in gaming and just my life when I'm out anywhere and I need something to play, or in work when it's really slow or I'm working the night shift and I need something. Pokemon is always there, and it will always be because of the games that they've put out. I have most of the games. I played all of them through. It's just some of them got lost or stolen along the way. But it's Pokemon Sun and Moon, definitely one of the best in the whole Pokemon series over these 20 years. I'm not going to rank them right now. Maybe that'll be in another video. But the problems I have with it is it's a little bit more kiddie than I would like, which it's Pokemon, you gotta expect that. So I can't complain about that too much. Also a little bit hand-holdy in the beginning. Definitely takes a long time. If you watch my Pokemon series, you can see that it was annoying me, especially when deaths happened and they still wanted to hold my hand through parts, and I'm just like, let me go! But, in any case, Pokemon Sun and Moon did a great job with the animations, they did a great job with the story, they did a great job with the world. It feels a little bit small, but I mean, you look at the hardware you're working on, so I can't blame them for that. And I can't wait for the one coming out for the Switch. They haven't announced it yet, but everyone knows that there's a Pokemon game coming out for the Switch, so definitely needed to be on this list. Number 2 spot, I kind of had to give it to it just because, as I said, Pokemon is just like breathing now. I need it. Now, number 1, if you actually know me, you know what my number 1 is already, and I have mentioned it in my Pokemon Nuzlocke series, Overwatch. This number 1 had to be Overwatch. It wasn't even close. It was not even close. Overwatch, anything that you can say about Overwatch is spectacular. It's the perfect game for me. Now, single player, I would like a single player on it, but I'm glad it doesn't have it, because then that would make me want to play single player more than multiplayer. And the multiplayer on it is so perfect that I can't see myself playing a single player on it at the moment. Maybe in a future game or in DLC if they include more PvE stuff. This backstory behind the characters, the amount of characters in the game, the level design, the way they did the abilities for the characters, the way that you can team up things and do combos, and it's a different style that you can play everyone in the game. It's crazy. It's so polished. It's so impressive. I have never played a Blizzard game before, but I am so glad that this is my first one. And I said earlier that that Overcooked wasn't the only game that was introduced to me by this person, and I don't want to say your name on here, but you know who you are. Thank you for introducing me to Overwatch. I know I've thanked you many times already, but Overwatch is my life now. Overwatch is something, I listen to the soundtrack on the way to work. It's the only thing I can think about when I'm bored. Overwatch is the perfect game for me personally. I love Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers is, I think, one of the best series out ever. And Overwatch is kind of like the shooter version of Smash Brothers for me. I wish there was a portable version of Overwatch, even though that'd be impossible. But the way that Blizzard did everything in the game and set up everything just the way it is, I can't help but obsess over the game. I know I've gotten other people to obsess over the game as well, and someone really likes it now that I just showed a few days ago. I wouldn't even be surprised if I played this well into 2017 and maybe even into 2018 with all the content that they're giving out. If you haven't played Overwatch, if you're watching this video and you haven't tried Overwatch, please, even if you're not a shooter fan, it's worth trying out. It's worth even looking into the backstories of the characters. It's worth looking at it all. Overwatch is going to be played well into the future, just like Team Fortress is today. Alright guys, well that was long-winded, and that was a larger video than I thought it would be, but I did get everything out that I wanted to say. So if you like it, give it a thumbs up. I don't know if that actually does anything, but you know, whatever. I don't usually ask for thumbs up. I don't usually ask for subscriptions, but if you are watching this and you do want to subscribe, go ahead, give me a sub. I'm right now, at the moment, I'm playing through Pokemon Nuzlocke. I don't have much other time to do other videos. This is sort of a off-the-cuff thing that I just wanted to get out there because everyone else is doing top 5s, top 10s of this year, and I love gaming so much, I wanted to put my opinion out there as well. So, whenever my next video is that is not going to be Nuzlocke, I'll see you in that one. Otherwise, I'll see you in my Nuzlocke series, and hopefully we don't have too many more deaths. Thanks, guys.